Hello guys, my name is Mr. Eleshi. This is SS1 class. For the meantime, this is how we get to communicate our subjects and teach. And I believe in no time we'll be back to class as soon as possible. God willing, the pandemic will be over in no time. So without wasting much of our time, I would like to take you through this week's topic, which is mensuration of solid shape. Mensuration of solid shape. We are looking at what is a solid shape. These are shapes with 3D, that is three dimension. They have the length, they have the breadth, they have the height. They have three dimension, unlike the square where we just have your length and breadth. This ones are 2D, your rectangle, all those shapes. But we are looking at solid shapes, and we'll be considering in this topic solid shapes like cube, cuboid, cone, cylinder, triangular prism, and rectangular base pyramid. These are the things we'll be considering in this topic. So I would like us to look at our learning objective. Our learning objective. So this is our learning objective for this topic. The learning objective, at the end of the lesson, students should be able to describe and explain the concept of solid shape. I told you these are solid shapes, are shapes with 3 dimensions, as they have length, width, and height. And use formula to solve problems involving surface area and volume. These are the things we'll be looking at, and we're going to be looking at how to use to calculate the total surface area of a cone and a cylinder. There are some solid shapes, you have to look at their total surface area, and some just have a surface area. Those ones with the total surface area, I think I really, there are other sides, like you have a curved surface area, where you have to calculate an other size that makes up the shape to get the total area. So let's go to the introduction, proper definition. This is the mathematical name for calculating the area, volume, length of size, and other geometric part of the solid shape. Other geometric parts like the total surface area, the curved surface area, and the likes. So we'll be looking at how we're going to be calculating the areas, volumes, lengths of this size. So this brings us to the mensuration of what? Solid shape. So we'll be considering this solid shape: the cube, the cuboid, the cylinder, the triangular prism, cone, and rectangular base pyramid. These 6 solid shapes are what we'll be considering all through the topic. And I believe at the end of the class, we'll be able to achieve what we are set aside to achieve. Looking at a cube is a 6-side face solid shape, but with equal dimension. All the sizes have the equal dimension. Like the length is all equal to the height, and the height is equal to the width, and it has 6 faces. As you can look at it, this is a face here. You can see the length, the height, and the width. They are all of equal dimensions, and it has 6 faces: 2, down, up, right, left. These are the 6 faces. And the definition says a cube has 6 faces of equal dimension. This means that it has length, width, and height, all of which are equal. Yes. And the surface area. Before you can calculate the surface area of a cube, then you look at that. The shape is a square shape. And you know the area of a square is what? Length times length, which is what? L squared. Length times length is what? L squared. So since they have equal dimension and it has 6 faces, so the area of one shape, one side of it multiplied by 6 will give us what? 6L squared. So the surface area of a cube is the area multiplied by what? 6 of the faces. The area of a face multiplied by what? 6. Where the volume is given as what? Length times length times length. Why do we use length for all the lengths and not use height and width? It says in the definition, they have equal dimension. That is, the length is equal to the height is equal to the width. So everything, if the length is 5 centimeters, automatically the height is also 5 centimeters and the width is 5 centimeters. So the volume of the cube is given as what? The base area, which is what? Length times the height, which is also the length, given as what? L cube. Look at this example. A cube has a length of 5 centimeters. If I will ask you now, what is the height of this cube? What is the width of this cube? When you see something like this, no need to bother yourself. The height is also 5 centimeters. Likewise, the width or the breadth is also what? 5 centimeters. Calculate the surface area and the volume. The surface area is given as what? The area of a face, which is what? L squared, multiplied by 6 of the faces. The 6 faces. That is the area times the 6 faces, which is what? 6L squared. L is given as 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. And we multiply 25 by 6. Equals to 150 centimeters square. Centimeter square is the unit of what? Area. While centimeter cube is the unit of what? Volume. A volume is given as what? Length times length times length, which is equal to L cube. Insert 5 as L, 5 times 5 times 5 will give you what? 125 centimeter cube. So that's that about cube. So we'll go to the next shape, which is the cuboid. Looking at the cuboid now, this one is different from the cube in a way that it has a rectangular base. And when you say a rectangular base, that is the length is different from the what? The breadth, or the width, or the depth. The length is different from the depth. And the height is also different from the length and the what? Depth. So in the case of a cuboid, it has rectangular faces and all the sides are not equal. All the sides are not equal. So we look at this is the length, the breadth, and the what? Height. So how do you calculate the surface area, the area of this cuboid? We look at the length, 2 open brackets, length times breadth, plus length times height, plus breadth times what? Height. Breadth times what? Height. This is how you calculate the surface area of a cuboid. You know, it also has 6 faces. That's why you have 2LB plus 2LH plus 2BH. That is the length and breadth of a side can has equal size of the 2 faces. The rectangular base is equal to that of the top. The opposite side is equal to this, and the side here is equal to that. So we have what? The side of length times breadth plus L times H plus B times H all multiplied by 2. Where the length, L is the length, B is the breadth, and H is the height. So how do you calculate the volume of a cuboid? Unlike the cuboid, you have length times length times length, whereby they have equal dimension, but in the cuboid, is different. So we have length times breadth times what? Height. This is it. Length times breadth times what? Height. Length times breadth times what? Height. So we look at a question. Look at this solved example. Look at the shape. This is the shape of a cuboid. The length is different from the width and different from the height. They have different dimensions. A cuboid has a length of 13 centimeter, a width of 9 centimeter, and a height of 8 centimeter. A cuboid has a length of 13 centimeter, width 9 centimeter, and height 8 centimeter. Calculate the surface area and volume of the cuboid. Calculate the surface area and volume. So what is the surface area of a cuboid? That is the length times the width, plus the width times the length, times the height, plus the length times what? Height. All multiplied by what? By 2. That is 2 times length times width, plus 2 times width times height, plus 2 times what? Length times what? Height. Insert the characters, that is L equals to 13, width equals to 9, and H equals to 8 centimeter. If you insert it, we have what? 586 centimeter squared. And if you have to calculate the volume, which is given as what? Length times breadth times height. I told you the width is also the breadth. You can represent it as the breadth. It's what? LBH. So you have what? 9 times 13 times what? 8. You insert the characters of the length, breadth, and height, will give what? 936 centimeter cube. The unit of a volume is what? Centimeter cube, as discussed earlier. So we look at the next shape. A cylinder. In the case of a cylinder, you can see it has 2 parallel sides. These are the parallel sides here. And you can see it doesn't just cut in. Unlike the cube and the cuboid, doesn't just cut into it. There's a curved area by which this parallel side meets with the other parallel side. There's a curved area. So in order to calculate the total surface area of a cylinder, you calculate all the sides equally. You can see there's a circular base here, a base circle. There's a circular top here, and the curved surface area. So in order to do this, look at what we have here. A cylinder is a closed solid that has 2 parallel sides. Usually circular base is connected by a curved surface area. Curved surface. This is the curved surface. They are connected by what? The curved surface. The parallel sides are connected by the curved surface. So the total surface area is given by the sum of all the faces. That is the area of circular base. The area of a circle is given as what? That's pi r squared. So the base is circular, and the top is also circular. So this is pi r squared, pi r squared. Well, how do you now calculate the area of the curved surface area? I will explain that to you in the next slide. So looking at the shape, this is the curved surface area. You can say how it curves in. This is the curved surface area. So looking at the definition, say the curved surface area is given as the product of the what? Base circumference. We all know the circumference of a circle is given as 2 pi r. The circumference of a circle is given as what? 2 pi r. So the circumference of a circle is given as what? 2 pi r, and the height is what? H. So the curved surface area is given as what? Base circumference times what? Height. Base circumference, the product of the base circumference times what? Times the height. Where the base circumference is given as what? 2 pi r times what? H. Now the curved surface area is given as what? 2 pi RH. Curved surface area is given as what? 2 pi RH. And we already told you that to calculate the total surface area, you calculate the area of the top, the area of the circular top, area of the circular bottom, and the curved surface area. So splitting it out a cylinder, look at how it's split here. This is the cylinder, the lid, the top, and the base. Look at it. This is the total surface area. The area of the circular top is pi r square. The area of the bottom is what? Pi r square. And the area of the what curved surface area is split like this. You can see the curved circumference is 2 pi r and the height is h. So you have 2 pi r h. So the addition, the sum of everything gives you what? The total surface area. Therefore, the total surface area equals to what? Pi r square plus pi r square plus 2 pi RH, which is now equal to what? 2 pi r square plus 2 pi RH, where r is the radius and h is what? Height. Pi is given as what? 22 over 7. Pi is given as what? 22 over 7. So the volume of a cylinder is calculated by what? Is the product of the what? Base circle multiplied by the what? Height. The base area multiplied by the what? Height. That is, this base multiplied by the what? Height will give you the volume of a what? Cylinder. And the base, we all know the area of the base is what? Pi r square times what? H, which will now give you what? Pi r square h. Let's take an example. A cylindrical container has a base radius of 6 centimeter and its height is 17 centimeter. Base area radius of what? 6 centimeter and height 17 centimeter. Calculate the curved surface area. From the explanation, you all know that curved surface area is given as what? 2 pi what? RH. The product of the what? Circumference, curved circumference, the base circumference, and the what? Height is what? 2 pi RH. And the total surface area, calculate total surface area, which is given as what? The area of the base circular base, the area of the circular top, and the curved surface what? Area, which is now given as what? Pi r square plus pi r square plus 2 pi RH, which is now equal to, which will give you what? 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. And the volume is given as what? The area, the product of the what? Base circumference, base area times the what? Height. The base area was, the circular base area is what? Pi r square times what? H. So that is what? Pi r square h. It is very easy. We insert all the characters. We are given the radius and we are given the what? The height. Now to the next slide, we have the solution there. Curved surface area is given as what? 2 pi RH. If you insert all the characters, that is 2 multiplied by 22 over 7 times 6 times 17, you have what? 640.9 centimeters square. 640.9 centimeters square. I would like you to insert this in your calculator to show that you're following, and you have to get out 640.9 centimeters square. I told you centimeter square is the unit of what? Area. The total surface area is given as what? 2 pi r square plus 2 pi RH. You all know what the pi r square stands for. That is the area of the circular bottom and the circular top. So inside the characters, you have what? 867.12 centimeters square. While the volume is given as what? Pi r square h. Inserting the characters, you have what? 1923 centimeter cube. 1923 centimeter cube. I believe you're following with all the procedures and solving all. So we'll go to the next shape. What is this? This is a triangular prism. More obviously, most of you might not have seen a prism before, but the science students will have might have seen it in the lab. This is the shape of a triangular prism. It is made up of 2 triangular bases and 3 rectangular sides. All the sides is made up of 5 sides. That is 2 triangular bases. You can say is a triangle here, and the base is also a triangular shape. While the sides are what? Rectangle. The bottom down here is rectangular. The side here is rectangular, and the opposite side here is rectangular. Splitting it, if you break it down, this is what you have. You can see if you add this all together, you have a prism. This is a prism. So breaking it down, you have a triangular base here, a triangular base here, and 3 rectangular what? Sides. 3 rectangular what? Sides. Going back to the previous slide, we have a rectangular prism is made up of 2 triangular bases and 3 rectangular sides. And the area of triangular prism is given as what? So the area is given as what? The sum of all the area of the sides. How many sides do you have? I say we have 2 triangular sides and 3 rectangular bases. What's the area of a triangle is what? Half base times what? Height. 1 over 2 base times height. And the area of a rectangular side is what? Length times what? Breadth. So this is it. So you can see area of a rectangular base is what? Half base times height, and the area of a rectangle is what? Length times breadth. So the surface area will be given as what? The area of this triangle, and this one will be given as what? 2 times 1 over 2 base times height plus the length and breadth of all the 3 rectangular sizes. Some questions will be given all rectangular sizes and you ask to find the surface area. This is how you find it. So the formula now given us was base times height, because here 2 will cross 2. 2 will cut to here. So the formula for surface area is given as breadth times height. That's the area of the triangular bases, plus length times breadth of one rectangle, plus length times breadth of another rectangle, plus length times breadth of another rectangle, where B is the base, L is the length, and W is the width. Now, the volume of the area of a prism is given as what? Area of base triangle. Let's say we are following the cursor. The area of base triangle times the what? The height. The area of base triangle times the what? The height. The area of the base triangle is given as what? Half base times height. And the height is what? Represented as L here. So we represent it as L here. So we have 1 over 2 base times height times what? L. So that's the volume of what? A triangular prism. That's the volume of a what? A triangular prism. The product of the what? Area of triangular base times what? The height. Excuse me. So we look at a solved problem. Say, calculate the volume of the triangular prism with base 8 centimeter. Look at the diagram. Base 8 centimeter, height 3 centimeter, and length 12 centimeter. Base 8 centimeter, height 3 centimeter, and length 12 centimeter. So what's the volume? How do you calculate the volume? The volume is given as what? The product of the what? Area of triangular base, which is what? Half base times height times what? The length of the triangular what? Of the triangular prism. This is the length given here. Is what? 12 centimeter. That is the length given as what? 12 centimeter. So V equals to what? 1 over 2 base times height times L. It starts all the characters whereby base is given as what? 8 centimeter, height is 3 centimeter, and the length is what? 12 centimeter. Sum it all, you have what? 144 centimeter cube. Told you the unit of what? Volume is what? Centimeter cube. Insert it in your character and follow along. Let me give you 2 seconds to try that. I believe you have done that. So it will give you what? 144 centimeter cube. Don't stop here. Try other questions. Try further questions. Pick your textbook. Cross-check it with the question sets on their online notes. Try questions and solve more. So we go to the next shape, which is what? A cone. A what? A cone. This is similar to that of the cylinder, whereby we have a curved surface area. Looking at the cone here. Looking at the cone here. This is what we can say. This is a cone. And this is a cone here. So this is a solid shape. It's also a solid shape with curved body. We all know a cone has a curved body, a circular base. The base is what? In a circular shape, and a pointed edge. This is the pointed edge, is the vertex, the end point. The pointer, and the total surface area is given as what? The sum of the what? Curved surface area and the what? The area of the base circle. The curved surface area and the what? The area of the what? Base circle. We all know the area of a circular base is given as what? Pi r squared. While in this case, the curved surface area is given as what? Pi RL. This is the curved surface area of a cone. It's given as what? Pi RL. This is it. The curved surface area is given as what? Pi RL. Where L stands for the what? The slant what? Height. The slant height. You can say H here is the height, R is the radius, but the slant height is given as what? L. Where R is the what? Radius, and L is the what? Slant height. So the total surface area can be calculated by adding up all the what? All the what? Sides of the cone. The total surface area is the sum of the curved surface area and the circular base. I already told you the circular base is what? Pi r squared plus, and the total surface area will be what? Pi RL, which is the what? Curved surface area plus pi r squared. And you know the form, the unit, the constant of pi is what? 22/7 or 3.142. And the pi r squared is what? The area of the what? Circle. The volume of the cone is given as what? 1/3 pi r square h. 1/3 pi r square h, where r is the base radius and h is the height. 1/3 pi r square h. That is 1/3 multiplied by the what? The product of the base circle and the what? The height. The circular base is what? Pi r square, and the height is what? H. So the volume of a cone is given as what? 1/3 pi r square h. Let's take the last shape, solid shape, which is what? The rectangular pyramid. The rectangular pyramid. We all know how to describe. If anybody wants to describe Egypt, you describe Egypt as the city with the pyramid mountain. So that shape of the pyramid is what we are discussing. You can see it has 5 sides also, whereby four triangular sides and a rectangular base. That's why it's called rectangular base pyramid. We have a square base pyramid, another pyramid, but we'll be looking at what? Rectangular base pyramid. Let me read. A rectangular base pyramid consists of 5 faces. That is one rectangular base shape and 4 triangular shape. But note that only triangles opposite are equal. Opposite triangles are what? Equal. Only opposite triangles are what? Equal. Not all the triangles are what? Equal. But only 2 are what? Equal. So this is how you solve a rectangular base pyramid. The surface area of a rectangular base pyramid is given as what? The base area, which is a rectangle. The surface area is given as, you calculate the base area. This base area, look at it here. This is the pyramid split in this shape. The base area, this is a rectangular area. The length times where you calculate that. And the area of the 4 triangular what? Faces. You know, the area of the triangle is given as what? Half base times what? Half base times height. So looking at this shape here, this triangle here is equal to this triangle. According to what I told you earlier, that only opposite triangles are what? Equal. So this triangle here is equal to this what? Triangle. So the area of a rectangular base pyramid is given as what? The area of the base times 2 of this triangle and another 2 of another triangle. So you have sum everything up together, you give you what the surface area. The area of this triangle, area of this triangle, area of this triangle, area of this triangle, and area of the rectangle. Add it up, you have what? The area of a rectangular base pyramid. While the volume is given as what? 1/3 times area of the base, which is what? Length times breadth, times the height. You can see this dotted line indicates what? The height. The dotted line here indicates what? The height. Where L is the what? Length, B is the base, and H is the height. Where L is the length, B is the base, and H is the height. Let me take one example under this. Looking at this, calculate the volume of rectangular base pyramid with length 6 centimeter, height 8 centimeter, and width 4 centimeter. Looking at the shape, this height is given as what? 8 centimeter. The height of the what? Pyramid is given as what? 8 centimeter. So the length is given as what? 6 centimeter, and the width is given as what? 8 centimeter. Calculate the volume. What's the formula for the volume? It's given as what? 1/3 times the base area. That is, the base area is what? A rectangle. We are looking at a square. Rectangular base, that one is what? L square. But in the case of a rectangular base pyramid, the base area is given as what? Length times breadth times the what? Height, and the height is given as what? Height. So insert the characters in the what? In the formula, you have 1/3 times 6 times 4 times 8, which will give you what? 64 centimeter cube. So you have to be careful using your units. Don't put the place of area for volume. Area is centimeter square and volume is centimeter cube. So that brings us to the end of the topic. I believe we've done justice to all these solid shapes gradually. I've sent some questions earlier on your online notes. I believe with this explanation, you can solve all those questions. I know some of you might have been trying the question, and some will be having difficulty. But now I believe that you can do everything everything now. You can solve all through perfectly. This is how we'll continue our classes from now on, and I'll be glad to meet you next week for the next topic. I believe you have your scheme of work. You can read ahead, but I'll be back again next week to deal with the next topic properly. Thank you very much.